Okay, well now is the time to get the blade prepped for grinding, and I don't have any blue Dykem, but I've got a blue Sharpie, and just going to mark on here just so I can scribe my center lines onto the blade. And once again, this is 1/8 inch AEB-L stainless, and so I've ground a couple of these already, have a little bit idea of how the steel works, and so there's my mark there. Then I've got this handy little tool here that when I was at Blade Show, I got this, that was in 2017, last year. I've got this little scribe here, and probably pretty hard to see, but right there's a tiny hardened point, and so I just have to take the blade and run it. Run the little scribe on the blade there, and puts a line. I think you can see the first line there roughly, and get that on there. Okay, then I'll go to the other side. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that too well, but there are two lines in there now, and so getting closer to grinding. Okay, I'm gonna let you in on just a little a little secret, I guess we could call it, but lately what I've been doing is I've been using this jig here, and this is a really nice fancy jig made by a guy I just heard about on Facebook, and it's not nearly as expensive as some of the other jigs that are out there, but has multiple adjustment capabilities. And so what I've been doing, and I'm going to try for this knife as well, I've been starting the grind on the jig, just starting it, and there's all kinds of mounting holes there, and I basically set the knife on that jig there, or that spot there. Then I'll line up one of these holes and just put a little screw hole in, or put a little screw in there, and then basically this just helps me start my angle, and lately I've been doing that, starting with the jig and then doing freehand flat grind, and so I'm gonna do that. Hope that all turns out okay. It's, you know, hit and miss still. I've spent lots and lots and lots of time practicing my grinding. Like I've got a whole pile here of just junk blades, junk knives that I've been practicing on, and that's not even all of them. And so then I'm feeling a little more confident. So anyway, I'm gonna get this set up on the jig, and then next shot you'll see is me getting set to grind on my 2x48 Vash G tactical grinder. Alright, so I'm starting off with just a rough belt here, used belts rather, just to mark off or grind off the edges there. Got the blade set into the jig here, and I know a lot of people there's a lot of debate about using jigs and stuff. I'm all for using whatever you can to try to get the job done. You know, there's knife makers that use CNC machines to get a nice product, and I don't see that as any different than using a jig to try to get the nicest product possible in the time you have and with the finances available. So anyway, that's my take on it. I hope to one day get away completely from using a jig and go freehand, but you know, this is just completely a hobby. If I have enough time each week, I might have 4 hours. Usually it's 1 or 2 hours a week, and that's it, to do any of my knife making, and that includes all the handle prep and everything from the sheath making too. So anyway, try to get a little ahead if I can. So anyway, start with a used belt that just knocks off the edges there, and then I will go to a newer grit belt 80 grit is what I usually start with. I'd like to start with a 60. I don't have any 60 grits right now, but it's a 60. It would be an 80 grit ceramic belt, and then I'll just begin doing the putting the grind on there, and get started. I'll take it off the jig and go to freehand. I'm gonna put my respirator on and all my eye and ear protection and stuff, so I won't be talking too much for a little bit, but you'll be able to see everything from here. Okay, well there's just a little bit of my freehand grinding with my grinder, and unfortunately, of course, when you go to make a video, it's a little bit more, got to step the game up a little bit. Well, I didn't do too well on this grind. Left side of the knife looks pretty good. Left side of the blade, if it'll focus. Right side's not terrible. Basically, I messed up, and I kept chasing it up, chasing the flat grind up, chasing it. Got them a little bit even, but I am way too thick at the cutting edge there, and I'm just beyond my skill level. Someone probably could roll it over and make it into a convex edge, but that's beyond my skill level. So, in the interest of full disclosure, isn't that the way it goes? Go to make a video, and man, I think I've done 4 or 5 other blades before this one, same procedures on the jig, and didn't have any major issues. None of them are perfect, but this one, of course, the video one, the one that I've taken extra time on, not worth sending it out to heat treat. It's you know, it's about $18 or $20 just to heat treat one blade, and you know, then there's shipping involved. And so I think what I'm going to do, and just to finish the video series, I've got another blade here that I did grind a couple days ago, and this is AEB-L as well. And this one, of course, you know, my grind was on a lot better for this blade. So same procedure, same thing. Just got to clean this one up just a little bit more on the small wheel attachment, but same thing. Started on the jig, went to freehand, and this one, you know, it's thick at the spine there, as you can see, or at the cutting edge, but that I have some more meat to work with as I do the final grind, which is my plan. After I get it back from heat treat, I'll put probably a 120 belt on, and then just feather that edge small, you know, a little bit thinner, and then climb it up just a little bit so it's almost a full flat grind. So that's the plan. So anyway, if you're seeing this video and on YouTube, it means obviously the knife build is progressing and working out. And so anyway, so that's the plan there. You know, it's one of those days, not a good grinding day, but anyway, probably gonna end the video right here, and gotta send the blades off for heat treatment, and then we'll get back with you and show you the finishing of the blade. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate you clicking on the video. We'll see you here next time on New Men Explore.